Hello, girlfriends. Today we are going to have a very different kind of live, and we are talking about wide belts and do they work for various different women and different body shapes and different sizes. For those of you who have seen me on QVC, you'll know that I often used to talk about my favorite belt trick, right? So take something that has less shape and put a belt on it, and it just makes it look completely amazing. And sometimes you may have seen me on social media talking about the importance of a wide belt in defining your waist. But so many of you, and I know you think this way, and it's okay that you think this way because it is true. So many of you may say, well, Tracy, that's great for you, but you are like a smaller size than me, or you're this, or you're that. And so what I wanted to do is call in a friend of mine who is not only a good friend, she is also somebody who is one of my biggest critics and really pushes me to take things to another level. And I absolutely adore her. She's one of those people who have really honest conversations with me. And she is also a former fit model for plus sizes. And so I want to bring her in so we can have a candid and very real conversation about belts, and do they work for plus size women? Do they work for, various different shapes and sizes? And so Alexandra, let's bring you into the room. Thank you so much for joining me. This is so much fun.
Thank you for having me. I have the distinction of being Tracy's. I know you said I was like, you love me, but I have to be honest with you because I'm your manager. So I have to be honest, and we talk very candidly, and so Tracy and I have got a relationship where we tell each other the truth. So I'm so excited to share truth today with everyone who's watching. Because I am, let me put it out there, a size 18 plus size woman, and a lot of women like me struggle with this.
Yes. I hear you. And so for those, before we get stuck in, I just want to say, if you are watching live on Facebook or on YouTube, please feel free to put in the comments and just let us know where you're coming from. It'll be great to see you. And if you're playing in the replay, that's fine too. Let us know where you're watching from. So Alexandra, let's just tell the ladies the backstory. So, I am very passionate about dressing women of all different shapes and sizes. I've been a stylist for over 20 years, and I have worked with all different types of women. I also love speaking and consulting with you on things because you come from the plus size community. You've been a fit model for many years. You've been a model and an advocate for body positivity. And so I feel like you're one of the kind of go-to women that I go to check myself, right? Because I think sometimes it's easy to look at things from my own perspectives. I always want to be open to hearing how women feel and to make sure that I'm speaking to them in a way that makes sense to them. So that's the context of this conversation. And so, many people have said to me, in fact, just in a workshop the other day, I was sharing tips and they were like, well, Tracy, that's great for you because you are like a smaller size, but what about for me? Like, how does this relate? So when it comes to the belt situation and the belt opportunity, what has been the case for you, Alexandra?
Well, I'm a busty woman, and I've got larger hips, and I have shape, having somewhat of a waist for, my size. And so I have found when I don't show that shape, it actually makes me feel larger. A lot of women will wear something loose fitting without form or shape, thinking that they're covering any bits or pieces that they don't love about themselves, when in fact what they're doing is, without that kind of that shape in their clothing, it actually can look like you're much heavier than you are.
I am so glad that you said that. Thank you so much for saying that. No, and that is really the truth, because I think, again, so many women will say to me, oh, well, Tracy, that's great for you. It makes a difference on you. But I have worked with so many different women, and I've used belts as a shaping tool for many years. But women need to actually see it for themselves sometimes, right? So are you going to show us, Alexandra?
I love to. Okay, so let me just say before I stand up and push back my chair and we can work together. I've been a size 12, 14, and I've been a size where I am now, an 18. And it's really not about the
Mm.
size. It's always about the shape. And I've seen you do this with your clients time and time again. It's really about the shape you create with your clothes. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So no
Yeah.
shame in the game. Love my body at 18, love my body at 14, wherever it is, wherever you guys land with your bodies. Just
Yes.
focus on the things you love and that's the main thing, is to emphasize the things you love about your figure. Okay?
See, that's what I love about what you're saying, because I always say to women, it isn't it is not about a size, and it
Mm-hmm.
is all about your natural body shape,
Mm-hmm.
and that it really is about focusing your attention on the parts that you love. Because what I find, Alexandra, is so many women dress to cover up the parts that they don't like, and this is regardless of size, by the way. This
Yeah.
is, I mean, I have done, like, and it's tempting. It's very, very tempting. If I'm having a blow today, one of the worst things for me is like, oh, to put on fitted clothing. But it's actually, I make myself do it because wearing something big and baggy is actually going to make me look big everywhere. And it makes me feel more frumpy, really. And
Oh,
so I'm so glad you said that. And it is about saying, what is it that you really love about your shape?
yeah.
Where is the natural balance? Because your body does have balance. And then
Yeah.
how do you emphasize that balance and de-emphasize the parts that you aren't crazy about? And I know we all want to get to a place, you and I have often had this conversation. We want to get to a place where we love our bodies, where
That's
we're
right.
like, yes, I am beautiful and gorgeous just as I am. Many of us are not there yet.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that this has got to be something that is a no shame zone. And I have had women on social media saying, yes, well, I don't like the way you advertise needing to hide your tummy to love yourself. And I'm like, I actually don't believe you have to hide your tummy to love yourself. I think it's about meeting women where they're at. It's about
Yeah.
saying, hey, if you aren't crazy about your tummy, let me help you dress so that you can change your mind.
Yeah.
Because that's what I see when women actually wear clothes that suit their body shapes. Suddenly they love their bodies so much more than when they're wearing clothes that don't suit them. Don't you find that, Alexandra? I do. I
I
definitely
honestly,
feel much
Tracy,
better.
how many thousands of women have you worked with? And have you ever met someone that says, I absolutely love my body. There's no part, no, not one part of my body that I don't absolutely love and I have complete peace with. The truth is, I speak from a perspective of a plus size model, 30 plus years being in front of the camera. And I would often go on set, like for a catalog, a big catalog, where I might be the only plus size model, and I'm with a slew of straight size models who are supposed to have perfect bodies. But I can tell
Yeah,
you more,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. That's how the outside judge. Oh, she's a model. She's a size, 2 or 4. So she's got a perfect body. I can tell you that even though I was a 16 and they were a 2'4", a lot of times I was one of the most comfortable with my body on set. It had nothing, it was a really big lesson learned that, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you're not comfortable with yourself, that's the most important thing. Everyone was looking from the outside saying these women had perfect bodies. Oh my gosh, there they are in Vogue, on covers of magazines, in string bikini. They must feel totally comfortable. But the true secret is that not many people know is that everybody, no matter who you are, no matter how perfect other people think you look, has little tiny things. It's part of our humanity, little tiny things about ourselves
Yes.
that we're not in acceptance of, That's just
Yes.
being human. So
Yes. Yes. And I mean, even on a personal level, I can relate to that. I see myself on camera all the time. And, people look at me and go, oh, but it's so easy for you. I'm like, I actually have to work at how I feel about myself. I have to kind of, and you and I were having a conversation the other day about this, and I was like, oh, like, look at the position, my stuff, like, oh, and you were like, Tracy, come on, like, get a grip,
you don't
and
want you
that's
don't want
it,
to skinny shame. You see, you're perceived as having this beautifully perfect figure, and it's easy to skinny shame. You shouldn't fat shame. You shouldn't
Yes.
skin shame. you should everybody is human. We come to the table with our fears and our vulnerabilities and our feelings of not enough. And we should all just come to that conversation, that table as human beings and supporting one another.
Yes,
So,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree.
You ready to
On that note,
on that
let's do on that note, let's do belts.
okay. I'm just gonna pull back my chair. Sorry for my dear
Perfect.
in there.
That's no
Can you see
problem.
me? Let me
Okay,
see.
I can't see your head, so I can see your body, but not. We
Yeah,
want to see your
it's not.
gorgeous hair.
Very good. Is that enough,
Okay.
or do you want me
Take it
back?
down. Yeah, take it down a little bit because I want to see more of your body. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So, Alexandra, I'm actually going to take my belt off and
Okay.
we're going to play together because I want us to actually do this together. And this is so cool because we have split screen. And here we are, completely different sizes and shapes. And yet, I mean, to me, both of us are looking pretty
Frumpy.
like frumpy. I
Okay.
mean, this dress to me just does absolutely nothing for me, and it makes me feel like a granny.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be fine if I was a granny. Listen, girls, I am turning 50 next year, so I am old enough to be a granny if I had children really young. But I mean, to me, it just doesn't do anything. And I think as well, Alexandra, I'm just seeing, one block kind of with you, as opposed to, and the same with me. So now we're both going to take the belts, okay, and we have the exact same belts. They are they are two different sizes. So there's just, there's an extra small to medium and then large to extra large. And the reason being because, they're stretchy. They're stretchy and they have a lot of give. Okay. So what we're going to do is just put that into the smallest part of our waists.
And the curve goes to the bottom, right? The curve goes to the bottom.
Yes, the curve goes to the bottom. And the cool thing is, guys, as well, ladies, is that what you want to make sure is that you're taking it into the narrowest part of your waist. So like right here, almost a little bit above, because you're going to cinch it in right in the narrowest part. Okay. And then we're going to pull it through. Now it has a buckle. So for those of you who can't see because it's all black, these are special buckles, by the way. They were sourced leftover designer buckles. Seriously. So we only have just a few of those. Okay, and then we're pulling it through, and then either you can leave it long. You can also put it through again if you want to, and you can leave it long. Or you can do what Alexandra's done there, which I like. And by the way, the length is adjustable, so you can cut the ties at any place. It doesn't matter. It's not going to fray. And then we're taking it round here. Now, Alexandra, I'm actually going to take mine lower so that it's actually going to make it look like it's even wider, because I have very little waist. Like, I have no waist. I'm very straight up and down.
I like it on you, Trace, wider. That looks
really
good.
I like it wider because it actually creates that illusion that I have a waist that I don't have. So this is very important for women who feel like they have no waist. You can fake a waist. Okay. So Alexandra, you're looking amazing. Let's see that. That is incredible. Okay. How does it feel?
Well, this is Tracy's belt, y'all. I just got this a few days ago. I bought it hot off of her new line, and it's this soft suede, and it's stretches, and it's comfortable. And what I love about this belt that you made, Trace, good on you, brava, clever, is that because it's soft, there's no digging. I was sitting in it, and it's completely comfortable, and it just gives me that little bit of shape.
Yeah.
And I feel very curvy and sexy.
It looks amazing, Alexandra. And then what's also cool is that if you have a shapeless dress or top, you can then maneuver the gathers.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like I can actually make this dress shorter even. I can pull it up and shorten the length and give it rouge. I can also rouge it a little bit in front of my tummy if I want like a bit more coverage in the tummy. And what I like what you're doing is you have yours going down the front of your body, which also gives a bit of concealment for the belly, right? Because that's what often women want.
I feel like it's splitting up the area. You know what I mean? It's sort of visually splitting up the area. and drawing the eye down with the belt just sort of hanging in the middle. But I can also see doing it to a side as well.
Yes, so I like it to a side for me. Well, I play around and do different things, but I
Hmm.
like it to the side because also like because I'm short. I'm 5'3.5", and so I like it going down my leg because I feel like it makes me look taller. But I could just as easily do that. And then also, let me just show you a little another trick. So you can have half and half, right?
Hmm.
So you see here it's narrower and here it's
Yeah.
wider. So this
Yep.
is a really great trick for women who really don't have a waist. So some women have got a very short torso
Uh-huh.
and they don't have much of a waist. And so you can do the narrow to the wider, and that also makes it look like you have more of a waist than you have. So
Oh,
you can wear this in lots of different ways. And to your point, Alexandra, the reason why I made it this way is because I wanted a soft belt. I don't know about you, but I feel like after COVID, I have no tolerance for things that are uncomfortable.
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't, and so I wanted a belt that was going to cinch my waist, but feels like I'm wearing nothing. And this does. I mean, I can sit down, I sit up, and I can run out the house real quick, and I still feel like it's there. And
Right.
it's not like disappearing. It's not going into one little like piece in
Yeah,
the. It's not bunching together.
that's
What do
right.
you think?
I totally agree. It's not, see here, wait, let me sit. It doesn't roll up or roll down. Here.
Yeah, let me do the same. Now I tried this, but I actually want to try it on. I actually want to try it on camera as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing is, because it's stretch fabric and because it's soft, it actually just it doesn't feel like it's so, one of these, I used to love these leather belts, almost these corset belts. Like I
Uh-huh.
used to wear serious belts. I just can't anymore. I just feel like they're so uncomfortable. They're so uncomfortable. And yet, so this is what I wanted. And so let's just talk a little bit about how you feel like, so you wearing shape in that dress compared to wearing it just loose. How does it feel for you?
So and I love being a curvy woman. I
Mm.
really do. I feel sexy being curvy. I have ownership of that. I invite others. So for me, it's really not about your size. It's truly about your health, and I enjoy dressing for shape. So to me, this is pivotal. To come out of it's a mindset to come out of hiding, to own who you are, to love your curves, and to begin to dress for shape. I mean, that is like the key. Tracy, you say it all the time, and you're dead right. It doesn't matter if you're a size 2 or 20. It's
Yeah.
owning who you are, beginning to that journey of loving yourself and dressing for your shape. Tracy and I go toe to toe because I'm like, she's a print person and I'm color person. I love pops of color, like this beautiful kind of cobalt blue. I love pops of color and dressing for
Mhm.
my shape, and that's who I am, and that's who I'm comfortable being, and I love that. And so it breaks my heart when I see a gorgeous curvy woman who you can tell she does not love or honor herself.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm not saying give up on your health or don't exercise, because you need to be healthy. That's number one.
Mhm.
But it's really hard to be motivated to be your best self if you're hating yourself. And so dressing, it seems like, oh, that's so surface level. It's meaningless. It's not.
Mhm.
Tracy, what you do to help people feel more comfortable and beautiful in their skin gives them the confidence to go out and achieve the dreams they have in their heart.
Mhm.
It's so much bigger than you'd think. So, what you're doing is healing and loving on people who need your help. So, I really appreciate that you're walking through the kind of the belt and going into shape journey, because so many women need to hear that.
Yeah. Wow, I actually feel quite emotional as you're saying that, because I think, for me, it isn't about the clothes. For me, it
No.
really is about how a woman feels about
Yeah.
herself. And I feel like when we dress to celebrate our curves and our shape, we really can own it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. We really can own it. And I've seen women completely transform their relationship to their bodies when they're wearing clothes that suit their body shapes. And
Absolutely.
time and time again, I've put women, I consult privately as well, and I put women in clothes that they would never think to try on. And when they try them on, they're like, wow, I had no idea this was possible for me, And I think that's the thing. Like, we're all individual. We don't fit into a box or oh, well, if you're this size, this is what you should be wearing.
Yeah.
Or if you're this shape, this is what you're wearing. I don't believe in that. I believe, let me get a handle on how you feel about your body,
Right.
and then let me help you dress in a way that accentuates that and accentuates the parts that you love and de-emphasizes the parts that you're not so crazy about. We all have those things, right? Like, we all have them.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciative. And I think also, Alexandra, for me as a designer, it's important for me to have women like you who will be honest with me.
Yeah.
Because I send you stuff and I'll say, okay, how does this feel? Like, how do you look in it? How do you feel in it? It's not just about me. It's not just putting something on a runway or making something look pretty in pictures. It's really about translating that. That's why I did the thumbnail the way I did. So I had the picture of me in New York, and then I have a picture of you wearing the belt. I'm like, how does it translate? Because I think we see images in magazines and on television and in social media, and then we feel like it cannot be possible for us. But sometimes it can.
It absolutely can. I feel like I'm so far away from the camera right now. Let me come closer.
Okay, come on closer in.
Closer in, because I just want to share. It was several years ago that Dove came out with this beautiful study that they did about women and how they feel about their bodies. Sorry, you can tell this is live.
Yes, I love it. Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing it live.
Yeah. So the majority of women, they did a survey and they found, and a lot of you might be able to, some of your listeners might remember this and put in the number. It was 80% of women choose to opt out of life experiences because they don't feel like good enough. So can you imagine, think about all the women and men who don't go to the beach with their family or their friends because they don't want to be in a suit, or they don't go to that big party with their partner for work because they don't feel they have anything to wear. They don't feel good enough. They don't. So it's really not at all about the clothes, Tracy. You nailed it. It's truly about how you help women and men, but I know you're a designer for women,
Yes.
feel in the clothes that they wear. And then they have the confidence to plug into life and to be able to experience everything that comes their way. It's the conversation is so important. It's so big. It's so much more than clothes. The clothes are an opportunity to, and fashion, to express yourself and to be who you are and to feel confident in your being. So it's amazing. And I just appreciate that you make a very inclusive, I don't know if everybody knows this. Tracy doesn't really talk about this a lot, but her, as a designer, she's an inclusive designer. She'll make clothes for someone my size and then someone her size and the whole in between. Her belts, her belt collection fits someone her size, someone my size. And so it's wonderful. And that's the way I think it should be. It should be inclusive. Yeah. I really appreciate it. And I want to publicly thank you and honor you for including all women in your creative designs.
Thank you, Alexandra. Yeah, it's really important for me because I feel like I just want women, I notice the difference when women feel good about themselves and they're wearing, because they're wearing clothes that they love, that make them love their bodies. When they feel good about themselves, they are so powerful in the world.
Yeah.
They can make incredible change. And that's whether it's change within their family, with change within their work, change just within themselves. Like,
Mhm.
I'm amazed at how impactful one woman can be in her world
Mhm.
when she feels good about herself, when she steps into her power.
Yeah.
And but that, like you say in that Dove ad, it's not possible if she's not feeling good about herself.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, and
isn't.
think about it. It's almost like, contagious. If one woman shows up loving herself, owning who she is, she's inviting everyone around her to do the same. If she's a mother, her daughter is looking at her and thinking, wow, mom loves herself. I
Yes.
must be okay too, you know? So it's like I don't want to say a virus, but it's contagious. It
Yes.
pass it along, man. Own yourself, love yourself. Where all boats rise when the water rises. There's a saying, all boats
Yes.
rise. And so you're helping not only yourself, but other boats to rise when you own yourself and your shape.
Yes.
So
Oh,
don't be scared of belts, ladies.
thank you so much, Alexandra. So Laura just came on. She said, I agree 100% with Alexandra's comments. Tracy's tips have made me more confident in my fashion choices. Wow, Laura, thank you so much. It's so great. You know, I did a workshop the other day, Alexandra, and one of the women was like, I've been following all your tips and I've been doing it. It's like, and I have some questions, but I'm feeling so much better about myself. And I'm like, yes, right? Because sometimes, and let me just be completely transparent. Like, ladies, sometimes it's really hard, right? Like, I put myself out there on social media big time. And there isn't always feedback. I don't always know what people are thinking. And sometimes it takes, like today, I am tired, guys. Like, I have been working my butt off this week and creating content and like tons of it. But what keeps me going is my passion to help women feel good about themselves and to inspire them and to say, hey, this is totally possible for you. And every once in a while, I get the privilege of bringing on somebody like Alexandra who can speak from her own experience. And so I just hope that you're going to join in on the comments and let us know your thoughts. Let's start the conversation. Let's talk about what it feels like to really step into our power because we're looking and feeling fabulous and what that could mean for you. And if you're not there yet, and that's okay too, because this is a no shame zone. If you're not there yet, share that too, so that we can hop on and support each other and support one another so that we can all rise our boats, right? So we can all look and feel fabulous. So
Yeah, and Tracy, it changes. You could feel comfortable in your 20s, then you have a baby, and then your body changes, and maybe you don't feel comfortable, or you've gained weight, or you've even lost weight, and you don't
yes.
know what to do with your new body, and you're not.
Yes.
We change as women. We change. I'm so not the person I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
But it's not game over, it's game on. You
It's
know?
not game over, it's game on. And I just want to say, Alexandra, you know, to your point, so just, you know, I know many of you are following me on social media. You may not understand all the things that I do, but one of the things that I have started, and this is the reason why, I've actually started a styling community called What Should I Wear? And it's really around learning from each other, because I recognize that when you look at me, you say, oh, that's great for her, but I don't know, you know, you don't necessarily have the opportunity to learn from other women, and you know, to bring other women into the studio every time is pretty time intensive and expensive. So it's not something I'm able to do. But within this platform, we get to actually share with each other and share befores and afters. Then I go live with the ladies on there, and we actually play around with different styles and different tips, and it's really, really fun, girls. It's amazing. And if you need a supportive community where you can learn to love yourself, then I would highly recommend that. You can actually find details. I'll put the link in after the live, because it's not in the actual post or the description in either YouTube or Facebook, but I will put that information in there. And it allows you a 3-day free trial. So I really want to highly recommend that, because there's no pressure. If you go in and it's not for you, just cancel before your 3 days is up, and you know, nothing lost, but nothing gained either if you don't try. So yeah, so I'll definitely put that link in afterwards. You can also go to tracygoldfashiontips.com, and you will see, if you scroll down, there's a little picture of me pulling a funny face going, what should I wear? And there'll be, and if you put, just click on the link, it'll send you all the instructions to join for a three-day free trial. And hey, if you want belts, link is inside. It's tracygoldnewyork.com. But hey, I'd love to hear your comments and your conversations. This isn't about selling you anything. This is about having a conversation and empowering you and helping you to feel better about yourself. Alexandra, thank you so much for joining me. It's been absolutely amazing, and I look forward to seeing the comments later. Take care.
Love you, girl. You are. Thank you. All you do. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.